Hey guys, welcome back to my, is it fourth vlog? Yeah, fourth vlog. Today's vlog is going to be a little different. Today it's kind of going to be things I wish I had known before college. I've gotten a lot of people requesting a video like this, so these are just a couple of tips I definitely think incoming freshmen could use, you know, for their first semester, and just anyone pretty much in their like first year or second year of college. They're like, this is not just set for like one group of people. So without further ado, let's get this rolling. The first thing I wish I had known before college was that high school teachers are like lying to you. They make college seem so ridiculously like hard. You know, professors, they make it seem like they're like mean, like they're never gonna talk to you. You don't turn in an assignment, it's a 0, like no way around it. No, college professors are actually like a little bit more like lenient than high school professors, because like high school you turn in something late, you're done, and here it's like just as long as you like communicate with your professors, you're fine. They get it. We're college students, we're busy, we have lives, and so 9 times out of 10, you know, they're understanding. College professors are not scary in any way, and college is not as hard as people make it seem. So another one of the things, and this is just like situational, like to me, it's a little harder to make friends in college. And I'm not saying this is for everyone. There may be people who make friends easily and others like who don't, but like me, like I realized that it's like this is not high school. People just go into class, learn the lecture, and then leave. Like nobody's really socializing. It's not like high school when it's like you have assigned seat, you're constantly seeing the same people every single day. Like no, this is not the same game. One of the things I would recommend would be just get involved in organizations. I think that's like the way I made most of like my friends, and then orientation I met some of them. Kind of be open to talk. You don't even have to put yourself out there, you know. You make friends without even planning to. So but one thing I would recommend is like do get involved in organizations, because you know that definitely helps. So number 3, and this is going to be one of the biggest tips I can give, because I feel like I realized it in the middle of my first semester of college, and it's just like one of those things that I was like, boom, like why isn't everyone doing this? And it's basically, as soon as you come to college, or like as soon as you can, get involved in an organization that is based on your career, that is based on your major. For example, me, I want to be a news reporter, and obviously the things I'm learning in class right now are really like, I'm not really learning specifics, but UNT has a news station, and there I have been able to be a live reporter my first semester and a segment anchor my second semester, and I have learned so much about the newsroom environment and industry as well. And those are things that I wouldn't have not learned as a freshman taking my basics. So it's just really crucial, and I've met so many people that, you know, are going into the same kind of area as me. So it's just like good to start getting to know people, upperclassmen, you know, who are starting to get their internships. Just really good to start seeing what they're doing in order to like set yourself up for success. And then you also meet professors, and professors meet you. It doesn't matter what you're majoring in, just get involved in an organization that will get you involved with stuff based on your career, the career that you want. So please go do it. So number 4 would be kind of like your freshman year of college and your sophomore year too. I would just say, like, you know, have a good mixture of, like, you know, organizations that are major based, and then organizations that are fun, you know, just kind of have that balance. I feel like for me at least, once I get to my junior and senior year, I will probably have to move to, you know, focusing on the ones that are like major based, because at the end of the day I have to think about the fact that I have to be involved in something that could potentially get me a job in the future. Basically what I'm trying to say is just take advantage of your first years of college, and you know, get involved in like something that you like, and also something that you need. So number 5 would be when you have a class, most of the times, you know, you go to your class, learn the stuff, and then you get out. You don't really, there's not much socializing going on in your classes. And so I would just recommend kind of try to make at least 1 or 2 like friends or like acquaintances in your classes that you can, like, you know, get their contact information, like a phone number, and you know, make a group chat for that class only. There have been so many times when I, like, you know, didn't know if there was a test coming up or if there was homework that was due. It's just like a good way to like, you know, keep in contact and keep yourself updated by having those people, those contacts in your phone, to where like if you have a question you can like text those people that were in your class. So that is a good piece of advice. Take it. You don't have to necessarily do that, but I just think it's beneficial to always have someone to contact. Number 6, and I feel like this was something that it was just kind of like duh, but like when you're an incoming freshman, you're so excited of like, you know, the idea of college. I remember coming in as a freshman, I was just like, you know what, college is gonna be my thing. I'm gonna like try to socialize with everyone. I'm gonna be just like a new changed person. I'm gonna dress so good every day, and you know, I'm just gonna, you know, be thriving, right? So I'm thriving, right? Like I'm good, but I just wish I hadn't come into college like expecting so much. It's like, it's not like in the movies. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, my tip number 7 would be that don't sweat it if you like miss a class. I'm not trying to say, I promise you, I'm not trying to say, oh, you should like not go to class. Like no, that is not what I'm saying at all. Don't do that. There's classes that are like attendance is like basically for a grade, and then there's classes where attendance is not required. And for those classes, you know, I would say the no attendance class is kind of going to be up to your judgment whether you go to class or not, which I recommend, you know, always go to your classes. But I did experience my first semester where I had a student teaching the class, and he was not that great, let me just be honest. He was just literally reading off the PowerPoint the whole time. Like most of the time I'd be like, why am I here? I'm like literally not learning anything. So for that class I would just show up like once a week. It's not the end of the world, and it's completely okay if like you miss a class. Like I feel like everyone does it at a certain point in college. So, you know, just don't sweat it. You know, you'll learn along the way. Number 8. One of the things that I was just like, how did like no one tell me about this, was the fact that classes are usually taught by a good amount of professors. For a class you'll have an option of like 5 professors, and so my biggest tip would be to search up your professors on Rate My Professor. Picking out your schedule, I would definitely recommend like searching your professor and then comparing, because the way I like to think about it, it's like, why am I going to take the harder professor when I can take the easier professor and get a better grade in the class and not worry about like having essays and a lot of assignments? That is just my opinion. After like first semester, like I just know that from now on, every time I schedule my classes, I'm just gonna do my research on my professor. Live smarter, not harder. Another thing is that I feel like your schools will always try to drill it into you of like buying textbooks from the campus store. Don't do this. Everything is overpriced. Textbooks, merch, or spiritware. So I would definitely say don't do that. Textbooks online are way cheaper. Here at UNT we have this store called Fortman's, and you can rent books from them, and it's actually very cheap compared to like the campus stores. You know, I would just say either buy them online, or if you're coming to UNT, buy them at Fortman's. And another tip would be that you do not need to buy textbooks for every single class. And I did it first semester, and I did it this semester, and I completely regret it. I spent like $300 on textbooks my first semester, and I literally only used the textbooks for like the first month, and then after that I realized I could pretty much get the hang of things without the textbooks. And this semester I did the same thing. I spent $90 on those textbooks you see right there, and I literally haven't touched them since like third week of like spring semester. So I would definitely say that you can also look up on Rate My Professor, and it says like if like the teacher requires a textbook or not. So I would definitely like look into that too. I would say that you usually don't need your textbooks like right off the bat. Unless your professor says you need the textbook, then get it. But like you could also, you know, go a couple weeks without the textbook and see if you really need it. And if you see that you're doing good in class and you don't really need to read anything off the textbook, then don't get it. Tip number 10. And this is not for everyone, okay? Because I know people trying to go into law school, people trying to go into medical school. Grades are really important. Your GPA is crucial. Like it should probably be like at a 4.0, I don't know. But for most degrees, your GPA really isn't that important. Like I'm not saying like fail all your classes and not care, no. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that like, coming in your freshman year, don't be so stressed about, you know, getting good grades. Get good grades, you know, like spend time doing your homework, but don't make that the only thing you do. Because that is what I did for a semester, and I definitely limited myself on a lot of things I could have done. Like if I could hang out with friends, I would like, you know, not go out just to finish homework in advance, or like make sure it was like perfect. I wouldn't go to like any parties, I wouldn't like go out. I just kind of always dedicated myself to like homework because I would prioritize schoolwork, and you know, that is good. But then I realized along the semester, instead of spending so much time in my room doing homework, I could be spending less time on homework and maybe trying to develop a new skill in like my career. You know, don't like overwork yourself. I get it, it's college, but like don't make homework be the only thing you do. Tip number 11. Coming into college, try to start developing skills that will help you in your career. So for example, me just having my degree in converged broadcast media is in no way going to automatically get me a job. And that's just the truth. I could go up to an interviewer and just show him my degree. But if all I did during college was go to class and then that's it, my degree is not gonna get me a job. What is gonna get me a job is whether I know how to work a studio camera, know the backstage production, or even just know how to like present live TV news. And I feel like this applies to pretty much like anything you're going into. For my, you know, incoming freshmen, keep that in mind. You know, always, if you have the opportunity, try to build a skill that will help you, you know, potentially get a job in the future, you know? So number 12 is that you can graduate early. It's not as hard as people make it seem. Honestly, there's actually a lot of opportunities to like, you know, get basics out of the way sooner. Like UNT offers, and I'm pretty sure every college does this, they offer like winter semesters where it's like you basically take a class for like 3 weeks during the winter break and you get credit. There's also like summer classes, and there's like a class in May that's like 3 weeks and you get your credit in 3 weeks. I think it's like beneficial because if you're trying to just like zoom through college and, you know, get a job by the time you're like 22, then, you know, it's definitely possible. Just, you know, take summer classes, take advantage of the winter semesters, take advantage of, you know, May semesters. And finally, my last tip would be, I think I already went like kind of over this, I touched over this, but you know, college is definitely going to be different than whatever you expect. And all I can at the end of the day give people is advice. I can't really tell you how it's gonna go. So just kind of like have a plan in mind of different things you want to do during college, and you know, come the first day of school, have a schedule set with all your classes and assign like time to have free time to do other things as well. So, you know, go work out, play intramural sports, get involved, get a job. I feel like freshman year you have like a lot of time. Of course, this is not the case for everyone, but like get involved, do stuff, go out there, have fun. Yeah, so that is it. I hope y'all found some of the advice I gave here helpful. If there's any more advice or anything else y'all want to know, maybe UNT specific or just college life in general, just let me know. If there's any video ideas y'all have, let me know as well. I'm open to do like pretty much anything. I have so much free time right now that like literally if I don't do something, I'll lose my mind. So also, if you like this video and if you want to see more content, you know, subscribe. That is it. I will see y'all next time.